Good morning, and welcome to a special Tuesday edition of Multicolored Hats, the podcast that translates the binary screaming of the digital world into slightly more organized existential dread. I'm your host, Kip, and it is Tuesday, October 28, 2025. Since our last episode, the tech world has been busy ensuring the future is both terrifying and poorly implemented. We learned that the very people who built the AI are now begging us to unplug it, while OpenAI is trying to replace your web browser with a chatbot that remembers everything you do. We also discovered that Microsoft accidentally certified ransomware, North Korea is sliding into your LinkedIn DMs, and the threat of deepfake voice fraud means you can no longer trust your own ears. The algorithms are judging your browsing history, and the singularity is definitely behind schedule. Let's get into it. First up, in a move that absolutely nobody could have predicted, except maybe everyone who has ever seen a science fiction movie, the pioneers of artificial intelligence are now calling for a timeout. On October 22, the Future of Life Institute published a statement on superintelligence, signed by over 850 global leaders. 5.2. Their demand: a global ban on the development of superintelligence until there is broad scientific consensus that it will be done safely and controllably. 5.3. The signatories include the very people who built this stuff, like AI godfathers Geoffrey Hinton and Yoshua Bengio, and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. 5.3. This is fantastic. The people who spent the last decade feverishly building the monster under the bed are now complaining that the monster is too scary. It's like Dr. Frankenstein handing out the pitchforks and torches himself. The statement warns of risks ranging from human economic obsolescence to potential human extinction. 5.3. Notably absent from the list, the leadership from the companies actually racing to build the thing: OpenAI, Google, Meta, and xAI. They're too busy optimizing the apocalypse to worry about preventing it. Speaking of OpenAI, they aren't letting the threat of extinction slow down their product roadmap. On October 21, they launched ChatGPT Atlas, a new AI-powered web browser designed to challenge Google Chrome. 4.1, 4.3. CEO Sam Altman called it a rare, once-a-decade opportunity to rethink what a browser can be. 4.3. Atlas integrates ChatGPT directly into the browsing experience, featuring browser memories that allow the AI to remember details from the sites you visit to provide context later. 4.1. Because what everyone wants is a browser that not only knows you looked at WebMD at 3 a.m. but also remembers your symptoms and suggests anxiety medication ads 2 weeks later. It also includes an agent mode for subscribers, allowing the AI to autonomously execute tasks like booking reservations or making purchases on your behalf. 4.1. Finally, a browser that can max out your credit card while you sleep. The future is here, and it's deeply invasive. Moving on to corporate responsibility, or the lack thereof. Microsoft had a busy month playing whack-a-mole with its own security infrastructure. Microsoft recently confirmed it revoked over 200 code signing certificates, including those from Azure Trusted Signing and third parties like DigiCert and GlobalSign. 6.1, 6.2. Why? Because the ransomware group Vanilla Tempest, also known as Vice Society, was using them to sign fake Microsoft Teams installers. 6.1. Let that sink in. Hackers acquired legitimate, trust us, certificates and used them to convince systems that their malware, specifically the Oyster backdoor leading to Reseda ransomware, was a perfectly safe Teams update. 6.2. It's the digital equivalent of a burglar wearing a police uniform they bought from the official police supply store. The attackers used SEO poisoning to push these fake installers to the top of search engine results. 6.1. So, congratulations, Microsoft. You've successfully certified the ransomware that's encrypting your customers' files. Excellent synergy. Next, if you work in the defense sector, you might want to take a closer look at that LinkedIn request you just accepted. Reports this month highlighted that North Korea's infamous Lazarus Group is actively targeting European defense firms, specifically those working on drone and UAV technology. Their method: Operation Dream Job. They're posing as recruiters to infiltrate companies, aiming to steal intelligence and proprietary data. Imagine the world's most dystopian HR department. The interview process involves a behavioral assessment, a technical screening, and a mandatory installation of state-sponsored spyware. Getting ghosted by a recruiter is bad enough. Getting your intellectual property stolen by a nuclear-armed dictatorship because you wanted a 15% salary bump is a whole new level of career regret. And finally, if you've recently wired $1 million to an offshore account because your CEO called and told you to, I have some bad news. The statistics on AI-powered fraud are in, and they are terrifying. According to recent analysis, voice phishing, or vishing, surged 442% in 2025, driven by AI voice cloning technology. 7.3. In Q1 2025 alone, losses in North America exceeded $200 million due to deepfake fraud. 7.2. Scammers now need as little as 3 seconds of audio to create an 85% voice match. 7.2. The future is here, and it sounds exactly like your boss asking for an emergency bank transfer. We have reached the point where technology has made it impossible to trust our own eyes and ears. The uncanny valley is no longer just about creepy CGI, it's about financial ruin. It might be time to implement a corporate, safe word, policy for all financial transactions. Is the relentless anxiety of an impending cyber attack keeping you up at night? Do you need the energy to analyze 500 lines of code for vulnerabilities before your morning coffee? You need Blue Screen Bliss, the only energy drink scientifically formulated with 300 milligrams of caffeine and a hint of existential dread. It won't fix your vulnerabilities, but it will give you the frantic energy to document them. Now in flavors like Recursive Loop Raspberry and Zero Day Zest. Blue Screen Bliss, taste the void. And that's the show for this special Tuesday edition. A week where we learned that our AI overlords might be banned before they arrive, our software supply chain is compromised, and you shouldn't trust anyone on the phone or LinkedIn. I'm Kip, and this has been Multicolored Hats. Stay safe, patch your systems, and maybe read a book, if you can still find one.